Today's topic is stop listening to negative people. Now, that's a hard one, folks, because so often the negative people are the ones closest to us, the ones we love, the ones we care about. All right, we're broadcasting on Facebook Live. Eric, Julie, Kathy, welcome, and have your friends join us. Beautiful. So, how to stop listening to negative people? And this topic is in our series, our evolutionary series. If you notice, over the last months, especially starting at June, we've been going through a process whereby we know that we're at the second part of the year, and we want to do what is necessary to be done to make those corrections to take us where we need to go, to take us to that place that we want to be. And we talked about, as a matter of fact, last week we talked about refocusing, how to refocus your life. And before that, each one of our topics has been about what do I have to do to get myself in a better position to achieve my goals for this year. I think that's the bottom line. And so once you've done your refocusing, and once you've drawn your line in the sand, and once you've said, you know what, I'm going for it. This is my time. This is my season. I'm going for it. Something interesting happens. Wow, here's one of my old friends, Katricia, welcome, and Mary Stewart, welcome, welcome. So when we think about this, the moment you decide to change your life, the moment you step out on faith and hope, negative people show up. I mean, it's amazing. Negative people, negative experiences, negative circumstances just seem to show up. And it's curious that happens, but it's a lot like the light on the porch. Those of you who live, doesn't even have to be in the country, even in the city. When we turn your porch light on at night, there are all kinds of bugs and gnats, and just seems like animals are attracted to that light. And so you wonder, where were they before you turned the light on? Well, they were always there, but they needed something to be attracted to, and that light was the thing that attracted them. And so when you make your decision to go for it, to change your life, to say, this time it's me in the winner's circle, this time it's me who gets the prize, when you do that, you turn on your light, your spiritual light, your harmonic light, and you begin to attract all the negative comments, the negative people, the negative situations into your life experience. But you know what? That's just the way it is. Sometimes we may beat ourselves up about it and think it's us. No, that's just the process. The moment you become inspired, the moment you choose to do better, weeds grow. Negativity comes. And it's a part of that yin and yang. You can't have an up without a down. You can't have light without darkness. And so the fact that these people are coming to us, these negative people, these naysayers, these dream snatchers are coming to us, it's okay. That lets us know we're doing something. That lets us know we're moving. Believe me, if you don't turn that porch light on, those bugs and mosquitoes and gnats and whatever they are stay right where they are. If you didn't make that choice to go for it, to do something positive, to paint a bigger picture of yourself, to refine your goals and say, this time is me in the winner's circle, those negative people would have nothing to do. So let's look at who are these negative people that show up. Well, number one, you have family, friends, spouses. You have your business associates. Number two, people who casually, but for some reason come out of the woodwork and feel compelled to tell you why you can't do it, why it's impossible, why nobody's ever done it before. And when you look at these people, especially the friends and family and your spouse, you have to ask, why wouldn't they be happy with my decision? Why wouldn't they be happy for me that I have decided to draw a line in the sand and go for it? Why wouldn't they be happy for that? And I think what it is that there are a number of reasons. Probably number one is that they're jealous. They're jealous and envious of you because you had the courage to say no more. This time it's me in the winner's circle. I'm going to roll up my sleeves and go to work. I'm going to do it. I'm going for my dreams. I'm heading for the mountain. I may not get there, but you're going to find me trying. These people who just, let's just say, start spewing negativity at you are so jealous because they didn't have the courage themselves to go for it. They're jealous because they see you rising up and they see themselves staying down. They couldn't go for it. They chose not to go for it. And they resent you for going for it yourself. And so that's one group. I tell you, it's almost like the crabs in the barrel mentality. Those of you who've boiled crabs as a kid, we go down to the sound and we go crabbing and we bring back a bushel of crabs and then we put hot water in and put the fire under that big tub. And as that fire got heated and the crabs started moving around, one of them would try to climb out. And the amazing thing is, the moment one crab tried to climb out, another crab would grab his claw and pull him back in. And so that's what happens with us when we make a decision to go for it and to change our lives and say we've had enough of mediocrity. We've had enough of more month at the end of the money. We've had enough of bad relationships. We want to change our lives. Boy, those crabs come out to pull you back in. So jealousy is a key motivation for negative people. They didn't have the courage to live their dreams, and they're very upset that you've chosen to live yours. A second reason that people come out, these negative people show up, is very often, especially people close to you, especially family, especially a spouse, is that fear. Many times these negative people fear that if you achieve your goals, you won't love them anymore. If you achieve your goals, they won't be around anymore. That's a bad feeling, folks. But you have that happen so many times that when you start out to go for it, and you know, the interesting thing is you can be doing things that will benefit them. You know, when you have a family and when you're just getting by, when you have to make do with what you have, when you have more month at the end of the money and you decide to go into a business that can change your life, isn't it interesting that the very people who would benefit from the success of that business are often the first ones to criticize you for going? But don't let that dissuade you. Don't let that pull you away, because they're basically criticizing you and saying negative things out of their own fear of the loss of love, fear of the loss of your attention. Many times it's about a power dynamic. You know, in life, there's always power relationships. There's a power relationship between a parent and a child. There's a power relationship between a teacher and a student. There's power relationships between a husband and a wife, between any people in a relationship. And so sometimes people are negative because they fear the change in that power relationship. I've seen situations where one spouse may be really heading for massive, outrageous success. And it seems that the more successful that spouse becomes, the more negative the people around her, especially the spouse, becomes. You know, it's frightening. And I think it's because when one spouse starts stepping out on faith and starts getting success, that other spouse fears losing that power over them, that control over them. I mean, I have seen situations where it was so illogical that one spouse was on the verge of great, massive, outrageous success in their business. Everything was clicking on all cylinders. And the other spouse starts spewing negativity and even subtle things, like, well, you got to be home by 8 o'clock. The meeting starts at 7. Well, somebody's got to be here. They throw those little roadblocks on you. It's amazing how that happens. But once you recognize it, it's happening because people can feel your resolve to be successful. They can feel your desire to change. And they just don't know how to orient themselves to deal with it. The third reason that you have people, negative people attracted, and they're saying negative things, is that there's some people who are just toxic. That is their nature. That is who they will be. That is who they will always be, and you can't change them. Well, you all know the story of the snake frozen in the snow, and the hunter comes across the snake. They're frozen, and he picks the snake up and takes the snake to his cabin, and the heat of the fireplace lets the snakes thaw out. And the first thing the snake does is bite the hunter and kill him. The hunter says, "Why would you bite me? I saved your life." The snake says, "Because I'm a snake." And so there are many people in our space that are simply toxic folks. That's their nature. They've given up on their dreams. They are so pessimistic that they can't see anybody having success, that they're convinced that everything is impossible. They'll often preface their statements by, well, the reason this won't work, this doesn't happen. People never do that. Folks get ripped off. All of these things, and it's really just their own negativity, the fact that they're just toxic people, and that's all there is. Now, this is negativity from other people, but that's not really the culprit. You see, when other people are negative to you, when negative friends and negative family and negative associates say negative things to you, the reason that it hurts, the reason that it slows you down, is that there's another negative person trying to undermine your dreams. There's another negative person that's working against every good thing that you're attempting to do. And that negative person resides inside you. That negative person is that small inner voice that says, let it slide. It says, do it later. It says, do it tomorrow. That says, this doesn't matter. There's that negative aspect in all of us. You see, each of us is created in that yin-yang model. So that just as we have the possibility for great success and positive thinking, we also have the seeds of weeds to undermine those positive thoughts and those positive endeavors. This negative aspect of us is the voice of self-doubt, the voice of distrust, the voice of indecision, the voice of arrogance, the voice of low self-esteem, the voice of procrastination. So these negative voices are inside of us, and the reason that other people's negativity comes in is because this outside negativity resonates with something inside us. It's about the harmonic relationship of the universe. We always talk, there's so many books written on the law of attraction. And so if you're attracting people into your life experience who don't honor you, who's a negative to you, who is saying negative things to you, the reason that you permit them to stay is that negativity that they are projecting resonates with something inside you. And so it then becomes an in-home job, an in-the-house job. This inner voice of negativity must be silenced first, because it's that inner voice that resonates without external negativity. It, in fact, that attracts the external negativity. And so it becomes, you might say, it's always an in-house job, our success. The negative people who show up saying negative things do so because, in a sense, we're calling them in by our own internal negativity. So knowing that, what do we have to do to change that? What do we have to do to stop listening to negative people? And it's even more than listening, it's stop hearing them. You know, we can listen, but not hear. In other words, you know, when you're on an airplane, you're sitting there on the runway, and the stewardess comes out and she tells you about the exit doors and if there's an emergency and do this, that, or the other. Well, let me tell you something. You pay casual attention. But when you're at 35,000 feet and she comes out to give you that same message that the exit doors are here, that we have a situation, you pay close attention. So you now hear it. Before you listen, but now you hear it. And so to stop negative people from impacting our lives, we have to stop hearing what they say. We may not be able to stop them from saying it, but we can certainly stop ourselves from hearing it. So how do we do this? How do we stop this negativity, negative people from impacting us? Number one, don't take it personal. Recognize that if you're attracting negative people, if people are telling you you can't do it, you're not smart enough, you're not pretty enough, you don't have what it takes, treat that as a positive. Treat that as the fact that you have turned on your light. And it's very natural to attract the gnats and mosquitoes who reside in the darkness of mediocrity and failure. So if you're attracting this negativity, pat yourself on the back and say, I must be doing something right. Number two, recognize that we must quiet that still negative voice inside of us. We must be still and know how great we are. We must be still and know how nice we are, how loving we are, what great potential we have. You see, life can make you forget who you really are. I often think of the prodigal son, and life can be giving you a tough run. You know, life can come at you, and as they say, in the far country, and you spent all your money and you went for your dream and none of it worked, and now you're there in the pig pens of life. But there's always an aspect of you that, and it says, when you look up to who you really are, say, you know what, I don't care what my condition is. I don't care what my circumstance is. I don't care how many times I fail. I am a good person. I'm a loving person. I'm a competent person. And success is on the way. Number three, develop a new philosophy, a new attitude. You see, once you start to reprogram yourself from the inside out so that you stop attracting negative people, you can't just, you have to change it and put positive thoughts there. You can't say, I won't think negative thoughts, but you have to say, I do think positive thoughts. I won't permit negative people to come around me, but you have to say, I will surround myself by loving positive people who uplift me, who I believe in. Oh, wow. So many people are joining us, and those who are listening, share the message, share them so that they can join us too. When you start to develop that new philosophy of who you are, a new perspective, it then sets you up now for the fourth stage, the fourth key. And the fourth key now is to make a commitment to change. And not just a commitment, but I mean a commitment of discipline. You see, once we decide to change our lives, once we decide to change our possibilities, we have to be disciplined to make it happen. And discipline requires that we take control of our thoughts, of our feelings, of our emotions, of our habits, of our associations, of the people we permit to come into our lives, so that we control what comes into us. There's a powerful thought, choose this day whom you will serve. That once we have chosen to be positive, we now have to execute a positivity plan through a disciplined daily activity of reading, of studying, of affirmations, of things that build us up inside. Welcome, Keith. Thank you so much. Keith from Florida, welcome. When we begin to build that up inside, that positivity, then we begin to radiate something that will attract people who say good things to us, people who say positive things to us. Once you begin that discipline, you know, the word philosophy, it has a Greek root, and it really says love of wisdom. Philosophy comes from philo, which means love, and sophos, which means wisdom. So the love of wisdom. Once you've made that transformation, I want to throw in an affirmation right here, because once you start that transformation of the disciplined building of the positive aspects of yourself, there's an affirmation that says, listen to positive people and ignore negative ones. People that doubt, judge, and disrespect you are not worth your time and attention. I'm going to say that last part again. People that doubt, judge, and disrespect you are not worth your time and attention. Folks, it's your disciplined daily rebuilding of yourself, creating that positive aspect of yourself that changes the game. The fifth key is to enhance your power of enthusiasm. You know, enthusiasm is from, once again, from the Greek God within. There's a radiation, a power that we have that we can, it's almost like a shield. You know, in Star Wars, they put up the energy shields to protect them from the incoming attacks of other people. Well, enthusiasm is your shield that you can put up to make you bulletproof. Heck, to make you bazooka proof. That when you're radiating enthusiasm, you want to do things, you want to be things, that energy is just pumping and you're running around and you're doing things, those negative people step back. It's almost like your light is shining so brightly that they're going to get burned. They're going to sizzle under the power of your positivity. And so your power of enthusiasm is a way to enhance the good inside you, the positive feeling, and let the world know. That keeps away negative thinkers, negative people, and you won't hear a word they're saying. And then finally, the sixth key to keep you from being impacted by negative thinking and negative people and negative comments is to keep going and growing. I'll say that again, to keep going and growing. Life is a process. We often talk about success is not a destination. Success is a consciousness. It's the journey. And so when you recognize that to keep going and growing, that it's natural that the brighter your light shines, that you'll attract a higher and higher order of gnats and mosquitoes and negative people. But to recognize that that's natural and that each time these negative things come into you, it just revalidates the fact that you're on the right path, the fact that you're doing great things, and the fact that success comes to you in great abundance. And so, folks, Some of the things to handle negative people. Just a couple of little thoughts before we wrap up. Set boundaries. Don't be pressured to sit and listen to negative people. I have some friends, one of my good friends, the moment you start talking negativity, he excuses himself. He gets out of the way. So set boundaries. Don't feel pressured to sit and listen to a negative person. Be respectful, but get out of there. Number 2, avoid complainers. When people complain about their situation, about the world, man, about the things around them, believe me, they're sending that negativity to you, because when they complain, if you listen, it's dangerous, but when you hear it, it undermines you. So avoid complainers. Number 3, choose your battles. You see, many times you can't confront the negative people who want to undermine your activities. So choose the way to respond to them in an intelligent way that it enhances your overall success. You can bite the hand that feeds. Sometimes the hand that feeds may be feeding you out of a power relationship. They're helping you because they want to maintain that power over you, to keep you coming back to them for whatever you need. So when you take your hand out of the lion's mouth, don't slap the lion. Take your hand out gently. So choose your battles. Number 4, don't overanalyze. When negative people come to you, sometimes they can cause you to question your decisions, to question your direction. Don't analyze. Know that you're on the right path. Number 5, develop a support system. The spiritual principle, when 2 or more are gathered on one accord, I am, the making power, the ability to create harmonics, to get things done, is among them. So surround yourself with people who love you, who honor you, who uplift you. And then finally, number 6, embody positivity. I have a friend, Richard, out in Oklahoma. He calls himself Mr. Enthusiasm. And boy, when you talk to that guy, you just get so jacked up. I mean, it's like, whoa. Yeah, Robert Kreiner, Mr. Enthusiasm. You cannot call him without being just jacked up. So embody positivity and let your light shine so strongly that men can see your good works and join you to build, or stay away if they want to undermine. Folks, who you listen to is critical. Listen to positive people. Listen to the people who uplift you. Listen to the people who empower you. Listen to the people who love you. Bring them under your sphere of influence so that you can create a harmonic with them where 1 + 1 is more than 2. When you can do that, then you can create the energy necessary to block out all negativity, to lift you up, to be the wind beneath your wings, so that you can fly to your goals, so that you can fly to your vision, so that you can fly to your destiny, knowing that the best is yet to come. And so it is. Thank you so much for being here. This has been an incredible day. You have the power to make things happen, knowing that the best is yet to come.